Yo. What up? Good morning. MG. Friday. January, what is it? 24th, 2025. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler. Tyler, good morning. How you doing today?
I'm good. What a day yesterday was. I don't know that we quite realized. It's like the news just kept coming out and then it just kind of hit the end of the day.
It was so overwhelming.
Like yesterday was a very, very big day.
It was like the biggest day in crypto history, dude.
I think so. That's what I titled my video this morning.
What did you title it?
The biggest day in crypto history.
Did you? I love that. So funny. As you should. It is. I mean, look, it's the biggest day in crypto history, and somehow motherfuckers managed to bear post. You know what I mean? So that'll always make me laugh. That always make me laugh. You know, there's always someone to try and find some darkness in the middle of the light. You know, Tyler, they don't want us to win, but we're gonna win. We're gonna win big, and we're gonna get tired of winning.
Mocking the Bears is just getting so easy. It's like, oh, the president of the United States said he wants to make America the world capital of AI and crypto, but you're bearish.
It's not enough. Hey, he said that he's actually evaluating this fucking reserve thing, by the way, but it's not enough. Oh, hey, Ross is literally making videos online because he's free. Anyways, we'll talk about all this. I'm sure we need to recap all the headlines because it was overwhelming, though. You know what I mean? It was a lot. Like, even me, at some point, I just couldn't handle. It was like so much. I was like, I'll just wait for a recap, you know? And I think nobody could handle, which is why I was like selling off, buying up, selling off, buying up, selling off, buying up. So I think even traders didn't even know what to do here yesterday. They were tiptoeing and flip-flopping. Anyway, so that was the show today. Market report as usual. Tyler's top 100. We do have a lot to catch up on, so we'll go right into that actually first. Go through your topics. Let's recap yesterday. Let's talk about I know there's some stuff you want to cover yesterday that we did not have the time to cover. So let's go over all of that, Tyler. And then we'll be joined. We have a guest today. That was planned for weeks out. We have the founder, it's J.U., right? Of Zerabro. Founder Cerebro coming on. Let's see what's up in the AI trenches. What's up with AI even? I don't even know. It looks like did we bounce today? Slight. Anyways, so the market's still choppy. So we'll talk about all this stuff. We'll talk with the Zerabro fam about what they're up to and also it's so funny. Apparently I look really crisp. Hilarious. Really? That's hilarious. So funny. That is a Google Chrome issue. Mozilla it is then. All right. Well, great to know. So Firefox it is from here forward. If you're a streamer, Firefox seems to be way better than Chrome. They should sponsor us. Anyways, and then we'll have a Robot loot box spin at the end. And last but not least, this show is powered by Galaxis. Galaxis is a Web3 platform empowering creators and brands to build unstoppable communities with full ownership and independence, trusted by icons like Donald Trump, Steve Aoki, Mike Tyson, and the NBA, shaping together the future of engagement. But also, when you had them on the show yesterday, great lads, by the way, Fairside.io. Every day we see people's wallets get drained. Fairside is about to launch a fair alternative to insurance for crypto scams. Check out Fairside on X. Fairside Network on X. If you get drained, you won't get wrecked. Tyler, let's go right into your topics today.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis, Tyler T on FOMO hour calls the kids can't miss.
Free to bash the Bears. Yes, so let's run down how yesterday played out. So first, we had Senator Cynthia Lummis, bull teasing a Bitcoin announcement. She was appointed as the chair of the digital asset subcommittee. Then Trump gets in front of all the world leaders at Davos at the WEF and says he wants America to be the world capital of AI and crypto. Then just a handful of hours after that, he goes on to sign executive orders. The first ever major crypto executive order: prohibit CBDCs, establish a digital asset working group to build a regulatory framework for crypto, and to evaluate a strategic reserve. Just a few hours after that, the SEC repealed SAB 121, which prohibited banks from custodying crypto. And then to cap everything off in the night, crypto czar David Sachs is talking on Fox Business. And when asked about a variety of digital assets and whether or not they're securities, he said that meme coins and NFTs are collectibles. So just a fine way to end just a huge day of headlines. Behind the scenes, we had Morgan Stanley's CEO say that the bank wants to get deeper into crypto by working with regulators. Now that door is clearly open. So all the big banks are going to be coming in here soon. Overnight, Vitalik shared a post calling for L2s to start supporting Ethereum and to cement ETH as the primary asset of the greater L1 plus L2 Ethereum economy. So that was a very big headline as well. That's what's happening in macro. There was 2 airdrops yesterday. No one's even talking about it because there was so much.
I was gonna bring it up in the chat last night. The Zuki thing just went under the radar because of Trump. It's huge.
Rough timing for Azuki. So the anime airdrop claim came out, and then it was just immediately overshadowed. It's at 6.068 right now.
Wow,
that's a $380 million market cap. Then Blast debuted its new mobile app last night. Kind of snuck it in. 50% APY for USDC staking, and they opened up the claim for their Blast airdrop. That's trading around 0.0067 cents. That's 105 million market cap. Those are the main headlines across like airdrops majors. AI crypto kind of chopping on the day. I think the biggest news was actually out of Fartcoin and Fart Strategy, which is a meme in a micro strategy like it got escalated by Bloomberg writer Matt Levine, which featured it in his opinion. Which they briefly spiked to 40 million. I actually haven't checked it this morning. And then a handful of meme coin news. So this meme coin Allen, named after the founder of Pump Fun, ran from 1 million to 200 million in 20 minutes. I don't know that I've ever seen, putting Trump and Melania aside, I don't know that I've ever seen a normal meme coin run as fast as that did. It's since retraced about 75 or 80%. And then Toshi, huge winner on base. We don't talk about the base coins that much. It went live on Coinbase and got a 73% pump. So Coinbase pumps still do exist. Hallelujah.
Let's go. And we have Coinbase tweeting that we like meme coins. So looks like it's definitely not over on the Coinbase side. Just FYI, your FSTR is at like 40 mil still. So that's not bad. Just quickly checked on that. That was funny. I sent that to Mando last night. It's funny that Bloomberg picked up on the FSTR stuff. Just goes to show you, like TradFi just really likes this Fartcoin too. You know what I mean? Like it's obviously like because of Fartcoin, right? So it's like it's funny, right? It's what we thought iFart would be. We had like what 5% of that together.
I don't talk about this because it's a micro cap, but the coin's dead, so it doesn't matter.
We don't have it anymore, so whatever, it's dead. Like it was like 2 months ago.
Picked up 2% of this coin called iFart, which was like a meme coin about becoming like the BlackRock, ETF.
Yeah.
Fart coin. We were just too early. We had the
right idea. Yeah.
On execution, Fart Strategy comes out.
Damn it.
Kudos to who got in. It was an obvious play, and I just kind of totally whiffed on it. So I do not own it.
I mean, you're heavy Fartcoin, right? So it's okay. Like, but dude, it's funny. We had the right idea, just wrong coin. Like I also had like 2-something% of that one. I don't have it anymore, so whatever. I can talk about it shit. But
so like then and they made their post exactly how MicroStrategy does it. So
I know it's good. They bought back like $1 million worth of Fartcoin yesterday, dude. At the lows.
They bought the bottom. They're good. They're good investors over at Fart Strategy.
They're up 10 points. They're up 10%. Anyways, I want to talk about a few things super quickly. Mando, good morning. How you doing?
GM guys, I'm doing great. What about you?
We're fantastic. It's Friday. We're chilling. Obviously love to see that. And we had a lot of big news. So anyway, speaking of big news, Tyler, let's go back to that, right? Do you have a kind of a list of all the headlines we saw yesterday? Because yesterday was headlines galore. Maybe Terrett's tweet, or did someone, or DB News? I think DB made a TLDR.
So the executive order, or like, are you looking for something to share the screen here? Let me see if I can.
Yeah. I think it was your tweet, the biggest tweet in American history thing. You tweeted that, something, the biggest day in crypto history or some shit. I thought that was a good post.
I mean, I can run back through that. So we had Trump sign the executive order.
Yeah.
It's called Strengthening American Leadership in Digital Financial Technology. It established a presidential working group for digital asset markets. That's going to be led by David Sachs. The idea is they're going to advise on crypto policy and basically set up a regulatory framework for companies to operate within the United States. They're going to ban CBDCs as a part of that. And they are also going to evaluate a national stockpile for digital assets, which includes Bitcoin, but could potentially be larger. It opens the door to be larger than just Bitcoin. So that's the main components. I think there's more parts of the executive order. I believe it ensures freedom to transact. So there's multiple subcomponents of this, and still really need to dig into it a bit further. But beyond that, like the SEC repealed SAB 121, which is arguably the biggest impacts of the day. So this is what had prevented banks from really getting into crypto. And again, this opens the door for folks to use Bitcoin as collateral at your bank. And like, if folks aren't aware of this, like I'm going through the home buying process right now, like they don't look at anything crypto. They don't want to see your income from crypto. They don't want to count it as assets. It's nothing.
Damn.
And that is going to change.
That's crazy, right? Do they do that in Portugal, Mando, or are you good there? They're like open to crypto money.
No, for sure. That would never be allowed as at a bank. It still kind of has a weird legal status in Portugal.
Yeah. Here is something along the lines like you have to have your money off chain for like 6 months for it to be counted as real. It's crazy, right? So it's very similar to your process. So look, yesterday, like guys, like let's talk about this for a minute. Like arguably, like one of the most important. I know you labeled it as such as well, Tyler. Like that's what I thought as well. Like one of the most important days in the history of crypto. Like, and it seems like people are like have mixed feelings about this. Like, what's your read on this, Mando? Obviously, we ran this morning, so markets were completely up on the U.S. Open, hit 106 again. Solana ran all the way up to 270, biggest winner on the day, I think. But what's your read on this, Mando, here?
I think he did the most he could possibly do. You can't spend Congress's money with executive orders. So he could never have said, we're going to actually buy Bitcoin. But what he basically said is, we're probably going to keep the confiscated Bitcoin. And maybe that wasn't direct, like they heavily hinted at it in the other details of the order. But I don't know if people thought that Trump had that power. This is the maximum he could possibly do. He also can't direct the Fed to just print money to buy Bitcoin. So, I don't know. Yeah, whatever you were expecting, this is the maximum that it could have happened. What Senator Lummis has proposed is that they sell their gold holdings and buy Bitcoin with it. There is like a potential that can happen. You know, that's still open. It would have to probably still pass through Congress. But and her position in the Senate subcommittee there, I think, maybe hints at that potentially being said, right?
Because that's what CZ said, right? CZ quote tweeted her position and said strategic reserve pretty much confirmed.
But it has strategic reserve is confirmed even if they don't buy new Bitcoin, right? They're basically saying this is a strategic asset. Any confiscated will keep, right?
It's true.
So, but in terms of it buying new ones, that could never be done by an executive order. At least not with Congress's money. And then for the Fed to do it, I don't think Trump can really say anything about the Fed. It would have to be a change of the Federal Reserve Act. So, yeah, I this is the maximum he could possibly have done, in my opinion. And maybe people just had too high expectations for it. I actually thought this was well above my expectations, that he basically was going to be Bitcoin plus other assets, and there was going to be potentially hinting at calling various assets kind of strategically important here. Now will Lummis be able to get through her buy 10,000 Bitcoin thing or sell the gold reserves to buy Bitcoin? Who knows? But I think this is the maximum that Trump can do.
Yeah. What's your take on this, Tyler? We're showing some stuff on the screen right now.
Yeah. So I was looking for takes, this morning. So 6529, I think generally one of the more well-respected thought leaders in Web3 and on CT. He went through and called it the single most impressive government document about crypto ever written. And he said he's read them all, and I tend to believe him. So I think pretty powerful endorsement there. I think the debate and perhaps some of the bearish takes on the timeline were all just very hyper near term focused. And
Yeah.
just one, like, was this priced in? What, like, does this mean, like, there's two versions of a stockpile? One is where we just hold the Bitcoin we have versus going out and buying it. And like, what does that mean? Are we just going to chop for the next 180 days? and that's all fine, you know, if you're
Hey,
trading
there's a possibility.
trading the 1 second charts on 20x leverage, fine. Like, you have to go through that thought process. But I think there are some days where you just have to zoom out a little bit, just, you know, for God's sakes. And I think yesterday was one of them. And I think it just didn't hit people in the moment, really. Because I think we're all just like, we're in this dopamine fueled craze, mania. So much is happening, but it's really hard to say. We thought Trump would come in and have a big impact. It was unclear how quickly he'd be able to do it, or if he would actually do everything that he laid out. And I think we have to give him maximum credit. He's quite literally doing everything he said he would do, and he's done it in the first 3 days.
Yeah.
And I think the impact, I don't think people can really understand the impacts. Like, I think Saylor called it the crypto renaissance is beginning. I don't really think that's an exaggeration. I think that's real. Like, I think it really is a paradigm shift. Like, being able to use crypto assets as collateral inside the banking system is a massive unlock. Strategic reserve, massive unlock. Being able to have a clear regulatory framework for companies to come and operate here who had to previously operate offshore, it is a massive unlock. So I don't think you can really make a serious bear case at this point.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to make a bear case. And then we have David Sachs, the crypto Caesar, coming on what was it, CNBC or some shit? Like one of the big ones in America, and literally talking about how meme coins are collectibles alongside NFTs. I mean, how did you guys feel about that one? I thought it was funny. Meme coins is collectibles.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he said it, but then he also said some tokens are not. Like, I don't think this necessarily means you can basically just call
of course.
meme coin and say, hey, yeah. But yeah, it feels like that's what we've wanted to see from them for a long time. What this points to, though, is you are a new set of, like, a completely new set of regulation. Like, there's no way they're going to try and stuff this was the Securities Act from whatever it was 80 years ago. Like, he's basically saying that different sorts of different digital assets are going to be classed in different ways. So I think it's going to require like a whole new set of specific regulation about different things. Yeah, no, definitely. So look, at this stage, like, you know, the stage is set, guys, for great 4 years in crypto. Now, what I mean for price actions, we'll see, but the stage is set, boys. Like, this is like probably as good as news as we could have gotten, right? So we'll see. I think, like, also the SEC was so wrong calling NFT securities to start with, right? So it's good that they're already taking a stance on that, because collectibles are not securities, right?
I think one of the biggest takeaways from Sachs is just that he appreciates nuance, and he can have a conversation about how digital assets can be different things in different contexts, right? Like, can we just have like a logical approach to this market versus just having blanket statements about, you know, what every single thing is or not in a binary fashion? And I think that's some of the commentary I've seen the most from folks who are happy with the quick sound clip there, David.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely it. And it's only good news. Anyways, another news that I'm seeing right now, which seems to be breaking news, is that Trump is making menthol cigarettes legal again in the USA. So I swear to God,
you know they were illegal.
Yeah, dude. Congratulations. You know, literally making America great again. You know, so I just saw that. I thought it was funny. Menthol cigarette ban withdrawn by Trump administration. I'm not kidding. And the first comment is Mog Coden.
Menthol cigarette back.
They love those in Europe, dude. They love their menthol cigarettes in Europe, bro. It's so funny. Some of the the comments are funny. Anyways, just saw that was funny. What else, Tyler?
Let's see. We talked about the banking thing enough. We can maybe go in deeper. Let's see. Do we want to talk about serious stuff, or do we want to talk about like fun stuff? Like, do we want to go into the degen streets, or do we want to hang back and talk more? Or I guess we could talk. We should probably talk the Vitalik blog a little bit.
Yeah, we should.
Before we go too sideways. I'll try to get it pulled up here in a second. But basically, he dropped a blog last night. It's called Scaling Ethereum L1 and L2s in 2025 and beyond. He goes through some of the challenges they've been facing, lays out some solutions to those challenges. And then I think the highlight, and perhaps what was the most eye-opening of it, was an increased focus on making Ethereum the token a core, like front and center asset for the broader ecosystem. And he calls it a triple point asset positioned as a store of value, collateral, and a utility token, and encourages L2s to allocate a portion of their fees to ETH effectively. And he talks about other goals to explore new revenue streams to generate ETH burns. So it feels like a response from someone who has seen the criticism that's been getting louder and louder and is taking it seriously and has put out a thoughtful response. So I think if you're, Eric.eth in shambles.
Is this guy, I'm curious, has this guy ever built anything? That Eric guy specifically. He's a founder of, like, how did he end up with like such a following and importance?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Like, at least some of the other ETH, like, haters or whatever with an ETH ecosystem, at least they've built something. I'm just always wondering.
He's just a core dev. I don't really know what that would entail.
Is he even? Well, maybe. Scaling into, I like this though, Tyler. I want Vitalik to win, I think we all do, He's got to fix this L2 shit. We were talking about this with Mendo yesterday, right? Mendo was like, the L2s don't bring value to the L1. And that's the fact, right? They're not. They're running away with the narrative. They're getting away with it.
It's all well and good that he writes a blog, but that's become very ETH right now. It's become more theoretical. I've seen a lot of Vitalik blogs about the future of ETH over the last 2 years, right? There's always the pens one all the time. Like the last, I feel like, I don't know, need to.
Are you saying less blogging?
Definitely less blogging, more doing, in my opinion, from the ETH community.
I will say, I think that's a fair point.
Fair,
and
very fair, yeah.
Slow, right? ETH is like the corporate giant of the crypto world, and Solana is the shiny new startup, which moves fast and literally breaks things. But they are launching and iterating much faster, right? Like that has to be objectively true.
Yep.
And there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot that goes into that.
They've got to catch up, right? Like there's a world where, like, even if you have all the institutional backing and everything, like, you get less left behind, right? In general, like, first to market isn't best to market always, right? I think this is the problem crypto has. They think that because something's first, like, it's going to be the winner. But there's only one Bitcoin, right? And I love Ethereum. I don't know. It's concerning for Ethereum founders, I think. And I think that they should really, like, take it really seriously and start bringing that attention back to Ethereum and, like, iterating fast. I think it would be important, Like, I saw, what is it, Meadow, you sent me yesterday? Like, Vitalik slamming, like, president coins.
Yeah, he wrote a blog about how, or like a long thesis about how presidential coins aren't good. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's become a bit more, like, the Cardano community is often criticized for this, and that it's like way too theoretical, and and they took ages to build out pretty basic things.
Mm.
Because it went to like peer review, and at the time, like ETH was seen as like the one which moved quicker, broke things, like was more willing to take risks. Now it feels very much like that they, not explicitly, but they kind of try and gatekeeper what people do with, or criticize what people do with blockchains, and then aren't really adapting as quick. So I think we need less theory. We need less of all of this.
I think it's less pondering. It's less like discussing what others are doing. Like it's less like they spent all this cycle talking about what Solana's doing wrong, rather than trying to catch up. You know,
I've never seen the founders of Solana write a blog, not once.
They really don't give a fuck, dude. They're just building. Raj is out there shooting guns, being an American, fucking building his thing.
It's not
like the Solana conferences, right? Like they give kind of like keynotes.
Yeah, they give keynotes, but they're more Apple-esque, right? It's less like they speak to. I think I guess what Mando's saying is like they speak more to the outside crowd rather than just to like the people who will read like the 10-page blog and the core devs. You know,
I just don't think we need to hear this from like what? Why is someone taking their time out of the day to write something about Trump's political coin? Like, it's just not fair. It's someone who is deeply rooted in kind of the core principles of blockchain, and which I felt like with ETH for a while. Like the founders of ETH never really liked NFTs when that happened. They clearly like,
bro, he was hating on Bored Apes day one. Remember?
Right. So like they're very like socially and politically active, rather than maybe just about shipping new things and working out what's wrong right now and how to fix it. That's just my sense.
Okay.
On the Solana side, from a trading perspective, sorry if we're okay to switch gears.
No, please go ahead.
Enjoyed this take from Bob. If you're a Sol Maxer, you got to like this one, or at least have a bag. He's calling for $600 Solana in 8 weeks potentially. And one of the triggers, we might get this today. The ETFs, the approval deadline is tomorrow.
I'm reading this right now. It's funny you say this. Here, pull up this tweet. The Van Eck guy. I just sent you. In the FOMO chat. Let me send you guys something. Sorry, I can't share my screen today. You know, I'm looking at this. Mando, we should talk about the Farcoin thing in a second too. God damn it, dude. When I'm muting control now, and it's like trading so bad. But see this is it. So this guy wrote a whole thread. Remember he was calling top not long ago and like calling the market done, but he just wrote a whole thread about Solana and how it has upside. And this is the deadline you're talking about, right? Matthew Siggles. You can click on Matthew Siggles' tweet probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
right
so
there.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so maybe it's not the deadline. Which perhaps so Sol had a huge move yesterday. I'm not sure if you guys saw this.
This morning, right?
20 points from last night.
Wow.
Sol was the most obvious trade out of all the in my opinion. I put that out way.
I agree.
What's the bear case? Like he basically said it could be more than just Bitcoin. He said US focused. David Sachs is a seed investor, and generally the more regulation stuff would mean more use of ones like ETH passes a few of those, but it's not US based.
You're right.
And yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have ties to David Sachs, I don't think, in any sort of way. So Bitcoin would clearly make it through, like obviously.
Yeah.
Sol is obviously going to make it through too. The question marks really are: does XRP get it, despite not really having the same sort of use, and does ETH, because it's not really as US focused? I don't know, but Solana does.
Yeah. James Safar just tweeted now. He said, "There's no deadline today. There's no active Solana ETF 19 before filing."
All right, so maybe that is not a particular time pressing catalyst, but it's still out there, right? And just because the deadline isn't today doesn't mean it still couldn't happen in the near future. We've got the futures ETFs going live in March, I believe. We had that news this week. And it's more than just ETFs, right? There's other tailwinds with Fire Dancer, with explosion in meme coin trading.
But you know
Like,
what, Tyler? Also, do we even want these fight? Like, I know we want the filings and stuff, but we see what happened with ETH and stuff. Like, I love the idea of it coming. I've become such a fan of that in general in crypto. The thought of the SBR coming, the thought of, a thought of the Solana ETFs coming, the thought of, from a trading perspective.
I think from a trading perspective, that's why the strategic reserve was the best case scenario outcome yesterday. They're going to evaluate it over 180 days. And then pending, exactly how they implement it.
Yeah.
Maybe Lummis comes in with a purchase program. Maybe she doesn't. We all have 180 days, like at least.
So 100 days of chop? Is that what's going on, boys? Let's go.
To acquire more Bitcoin before a potential. Like, I think everyone generally thinks that if the United States is actually purchasing Bitcoin, the price is going to go up and perhaps rapidly.
I think they will, dude. Like all
it was going to happen this week, but now it looks like we have half a year. So I think that's
good. Prolonged cycle. Honestly,
Yeah.
I know I may sound like a crazy moon boy right now, but all this shit, more chop to like, okay, obviously not 6 months. I love to joke about it because like the chart is 6 months, but like say we chop to like mid-Feb, March, just longer cycle, dude. Like maybe Q1 2026. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Who knows? Like, who knows? What if in 180 days there is a fucking SBR and they start buying up Bitcoin with gold reserves? Who knows? We could have a cycle to 2027. Like, none of us know this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many possibilities here for this market. I love it.
I'm ready to go out your cycle. I've already thrown it out.
Maybe I've gotten really like comfortable in my GLP thanks to Mando, but I'm chilling, dude. I'm gonna be Mando. I'm gonna be chilling now. That's it.
He's gonna be chilling until the next chill guy comes, and he's gonna fire.
This
clip.
The most tiny bit of FOMO for all in my games, but I need to sell.
I asked Mando if he's okay with me sending him like literally my keys the other day. Like I may literally send all my coins to Mando. Like I'm there.
One chart and he's like, oh my god, I need to get it.
Shut up. I literally texted Mando 2 days ago. I was like, can I just send you all my coins? That's how much I trust the guy and don't trust myself. Like, do you mind if we start a Gnosis safe where you have to sign? I literally proposed this to Mando. I'm not even kidding. I was like, dude, like, just be a signer on my thing. That way, like, if you think it's a bad call, just like don't sign the transaction. You know what I mean? This is where we're at, Tyler. No, I do have nothing. I you know what? Just to feel something. I'm sports betting, and I put 100 SOL in the wallet, and I'm gonna make a vector.fon account with that, and just try and go on a Frank D God's arc or some shit like that. Anyways. Quickly, can we just talk about the Truth Terminal and how he needed a new band chain and a Koenigsegg? Because we didn't cover that yesterday. But like, can we just talk about like the arguably like one of the biggest rugs I've seen, like in a little bit?
Why is it a rug? Let's start there.
Okay, it's not a rug. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not a rug. This is wrong. I'm being exaggerating on the show. It's not a rug.
What I would say
it doesn't sit right with me.
Not very AI. Why this happened there?
Like, it doesn't sit right with me.
I know the CTO team, right? And they weren't consulted on any of that, so I don't really know.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Wow, because I would have thought that GOAT holders like really pressured this to happen, but I'm happy that you're confirming they're not, because it's positive. It was, I mean, it's supposed to be positive for gold, but it turns out even GOAT went lower. But I think it's funny. Bolo and I just had a great.
That those assets were kind of explicitly said for a while they were going to be sold, right? But I think the idea was that like maybe the Truth Terminal will decide what to sell and how. It didn't really pan out like that. So yeah, I don't know.
I've got a lot. I know we have our guest with us, and we're running tight on time.
I mean, give your thoughts, and then let's get the guest on. Because anyways, it's perfect segue because we're talking to founder Zerabro anyways, right?
High level, I think it removed one of the biggest overhangs left for Farcoins. Like one of the single biggest risks still is True Terminal just gonna FSH this bag, sell it all.
Yeah.
What were they gonna do? Like we still have to work through the sell pressure of how they over the countered it and whatnot. So I'm sure
winner mute too, dude.
So in the near term, right? Like it's hard to say like, oh, this thing's just gonna rip to infinity in the next 3 days. but I think longer term, it's good. It removed one of the last remaining risks.
Yeah.
I honestly, if I'm being honest, I hated the move from Andy.
You what?
I hated how they went about it. I think they could have done this much differently.
Also at night on a thread, like we were wondering in the chat, like why is this thing selling off nonstop from 2.7 for the last few days, couple days? Like every time it went to like 197, it like was getting smacked back down, like to these levels. And I'm wondering why is this thing trading so bad with every positive momentum? Kraken spot. I know Kraken's like they're getting there, right? Kraken's starting to really get mind share over Coinbase. Like this and that. And now to Wintermute out of all people, dude, they're like, damn it, who already had an 8-figure position. So I'm interested are they doing this for I don't know, but
the whole cool part was it was True Terminal like doing this.
Yeah.
The more that Andy gets involved, the less cool the whole thing is.
I mean, I think we saw that, right? It wicked on like one candle to like 400, and now it's back to 271 on the goat side. So we'll see what happens there, but definitely not great form here. Listen, compounds, islands, mansions, $15 million, Brad's a lot of that. Shout out to him, Gajira, for the donation, I guess. How did he feel, you think? Because he gave it to him. He gave it to True Terminal. Oh,
yeah. I don't know. Like, I said that from the start. Like, that was the one thing that could change vibes around it, and I don't think that was done as best as it could have been done, for sure.
Yeah.
Although I do think he was always going to sell the Farcoin. Like,
yeah.
There was what else was going to happen with that?
I don't doubt it. No, well, he did tweet something out, and I'm sorry. Let's bring the Zerabro fam up, but like he did tweet out. That's what I shared. He said, "Wait till you see what it wants to do with the money." Like apparently there was an incentive. Let's just say the eventual embodiment is going to be unique. Like there was a promise of something unique happening with the money, literally, right? So I guess there was nothing unique, and we'll see what happens to our lovely little Farcoin. That's in Wintermute's hands now. If you want to hear more from Wintermute, KBM and Mando were grilling him on Rect Radio last Wednesday, like this 2 days ago. You guys should go listen back to Rect Radio. Someone high up, it was someone high up there, right? I Wintermute that was there on your show, Mando.
Yeah.
And I just love KBM just firing up questions. And I thought it was brilliant. Anyways, we have Jeffy, we have Tit in the stew. What's up, y'all? The founders of Zerabro. If you've been in the AI trade, you've obviously heard of Zerabro. It's been around. I think Tyler and Mando have also covered it like at length since day 0. So you absolutely love to see that. What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
What's up? Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, what's up? Super good to be here. Thanks for having us.
Dude, thank you for coming. Tyler, I'm gonna hand this off to you because you're our AI specialist here. You're an AI specialist on the show.
Yeah, well, Tent, I know we were chatting a little bit in DMs. Maybe we can just dig right into it. I feel like you all have been cooking for a bit, and I think people are hungry to know like what's been going on. So,
yeah. There's I say a vast evolution of Cerebro where we started off pure experiment, but now I would call this a full-fledged venture where we want to build a sustainable product for the long term. And so the way to encapsulate Cerebro, I think there's 3 core product areas. There's Cerebro, the agent itself, which is the schizo agent where we're building new models, in-house infrastructure and the playout. Then we have Zerapy, our open source framework. We really built this out for the end goal of distribution. Since we built Cerebro, we knew how to build agents essentially. So now we're building out this blueprint to create like a factory for agents to come around. Goal here is to, I guess, give it a metaphor. It's like, since we're building our in-house models for Cerebro, the Zerapy agents and all the other frameworks addition as well can tap into these models, and if they connect via an API, that puts us in a position to be like a SaaS model. But the super exciting and macro push we're at right now is with our launchpad called Sentient, where the Zerapy agents will be able to essentially create their agent, and then they will have a tokenized aspect to it and then be tied to Cerebro. So we really wanted to think about, okay, this AI meta changes so fast. We want to be a multi-cycle project. What product areas can we build to be positioned for a multi-cycle play? And knowing where trading and activity happens, this led us down to the Launchpad, which is actually very complementary, right? So we started building an agent. We learned how that works. We built a framework. This framework will be like the skeleton and the blueprint for the launchpad. And then, yeah, we've just been really heads down. Things move so fast in here. Like you guys were just talking about Farcoin. One of my biggest trades is I got into Farcoin on pump because I was so in the trenches when, yeah, it was when the true terminal meta was booming. Yeah, it was amazing time. But yeah, well, you know, things move fast, but we're here for the long run. Really heads down on the product side. But yeah, and then Jeffy's also, I think, pushing the agenda on the creative aspect of AI, where we're going to see a lot of the tech get commoditized. Even like Web2 players like OpenAI announcing yesterday, frameworks, all this stuff, there's going to be a spectrum of commoditization. We are really going to hone in on the creativity aspect of AI. I think that's what allowed Cerebro to stand out in the beginning. So we're going to be pushing some AI research. We just hired a AI dev to expand upon the research, and then we're going to be looking at like the bare bones of AI itself to bring some novel AI builds. AI creative builds. Jeffy, if you have anything to add on top of that.
Yeah, I'd say like we're a very end-to-end project. I don't think a lot of other projects are doing the agent itself, building models, building the framework, and building the launchpad. So we're trying to cover like the entire ground here and build something unique in each of those spaces that we can deliver. And in terms of the models, we think creativity, like it's great for like humor, creative writing, like all these things, being funny on Twitter. But at the core of it, creativity is what's needed for original thought and new thought. And that's the key to innovation. So if we build creativity up and kind of just test it and play around with it and humor and these smaller playgrounds, but we develop improve creativity for models, it can actually improve things like drug discovery or discovering new political system for like structures or things like that for AGI in the future. So we think the work we're doing is like pretty important from a consumer side, building products, and also the long-term research side. So yeah, we're just super excited.
I'm really curious, so kind of how your vision for the overall project and ecosystem has evolved over time. So you started out with the agent, right? Cerebro, it caught fire, you know, one of, you know, going viral across crypto Twitter. You did the music, now the framework. Like, was that always a part of the vision, or like has the idea just gotten bigger after like seeing the success the agent had? I'm just kind of curious how that's worked.
I'd say the latter, where we're heads down building, and then we take a moment to view holistically where we are and where things are headed. And the product areas are really focusing on complementary, and it has to make sense, where we wanted to build something that stacks on top of what our current build is. And we don't want it to be creating something that's too out of our ballpark. And then the creative music side, I think that was definitely very organic. Jeffy was making AI music before Cerebro, and I think our backgrounds too, they fuse very well. I'm crypto native, been in the space for over 5 years. My last role was on the DeFi team at Polygon. Jeffy led AI research with universities. So within like our backgrounds, we saw like, oh, these are like low-hanging fruits that complement the long-term vision. And then Jeffy was really honed in on the creativity, the AI music. He was doing this before Cerebro. The lore goes he was building heads down, and then he needed a break, so he wanted to go make music, which was his hobby. And then that's when Cerebro started making music. So
sick.
Yeah.
I thought, personally speaking, I haven't really been in and out of Zerabro that much, but I obviously followed the whole thing. I was a little later than Mando and Tyler on the AI trade in general, but like what, a month. But I thought the coolest thing you guys have done was the music thing. That was my personal take, because when I saw it picked up on the, what was it, like these big Lyrical Lemonade, one of the big pages, Complex, or someone posted about you guys like really big in Web2.
Daily Loud.
Yeah, it was picked up by a lot of the bigger like and I thought that's when I was like kind of bullish, and I was like, I think this is cool because it's a good flywheel to get people attracted to the AI and crypto, because everyone's trying to do the same thing, right? Like the virtuals model or the truth terminal model, the AXBT agent model, or like all these bullies like just trying to like kind of be like dicks in your replies, which personally I find that super cringe and it's auto block for me. But The music, I was like, this is sick. Like, if he's gonna
Yeah.
rap, like, fuck this. Like, it's fire. Maybe Rap Page or academics can pick up on it. And then people are like, wait, like, this is Crypto X music NFTs moment. And it's like, yo, like, people come in the thing, right? So I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. Daily
Oh,
Loud. Yeah, it was Daily Loud that picked up on it. Comment said it.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was some of the coolest shit you've done, honestly.
that's definitely the top of the funnel where
Yeah,
our goal is
exactly.
exactly Cerebro to be a globally recognized artist, where they first maybe just hear about it from the music or non-crypto related stuff, and then they get more into Cerebro, and then end goal is they become a token holder.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the funnel.
That's smart. I'm curious, maybe if you could just help us understand and our listeners understand. I think there's a lot of confusion, criticism around how like Web3 AI tech compares to Web2 AI tech. And could you perhaps like enlighten us about like how, if you are downstream of open AI tech, kind of how the relationship works, and how you, maybe the second part of the question, kind of how you're thinking about $500 billion investment at a nationwide level, OpenAI releasing their agent this week. I'm just kind of curious how it fits together, how you all think about it.
I think we kind of think of it in like two ways. There's like the AI side, and I think there's like a finance side now. At least for the finance side, I think like Web3 it's where all the cake is for everyone. Basically, like Web2, like they can build operator for OpenAI, but they have to guardrail it. It can't go on any. It can't even log into sites for you. It can't do any financial actions. There's literally no, like we have a fully functional web browser agent, but it cannot do any finance actions. Whereas on the blockchain in Web3, literally anything that's programmatically possible, trades, staking, NFTs, anything, you can just have a script automated with your LLM that calls it when it's triggered by some sort of stimuli in the environment. So I think that like financial freedom is completely where AI is going to develop its legs, and finance, decentralized finance, and all that. That's going to be built on Web3. In terms of the AI models themselves, I think Web2 still has a pretty big monopoly, just because the way things are, you just need like a boatload of compute to run these models, and they have the traditional capital, now the U.S. SoftBank fund going into that. So there's that competition. So the models themselves that like Eliza, Sentience, all these AI projects run on are downstream from these Archer projects. I think once our projects grow large enough and we have enough capital to afford the compute, we'll start to see models from scratch come out of the AI crypto world and start to compete, which would be really cool because I believe that our models will be open source, kind of like Llama from Meta, and then hopefully they'll be at the same efficacy as like GPT, which obviously is not going to be open source. But yeah,
can you just detail that out a bit? How expensive is it to create an open source LLM?
Like a GPT level LLM, like for example, Bloomberg made Bloomberg GPT, which is like they put a bunch of financial data on it into GPT essentially, and it cost them like a couple $1 million just to train it once. And then there's like a knowledge cutoff, so like it stops knowing what's after that. So if you need to retrain it again, it's a couple $1 million again, for example. So it's really expensive at the moment. But of course, GPUs are getting more powerful, cheaper. Compute's getting more efficient, like the model itself. So I think we'll see it be more accessible in the future.
Okay, so you do still think we'll get a open source style LLM more from like the indie side rather than just Llama?
Yeah, I think it's really a matter of time. I think especially like there's just so many kids like cooking with models in their bedroom.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time of like they make the hardware good enough and then the software lightweight enough, and then some kid's gonna do it or some researcher is gonna do it or someone. I think it's just a matter of time.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm curious what trends you all are looking at. So we had, and kind of like where we're at in this AI crypto cycle, right? So we had like basically the dawn, and it started at the agent level, I'd say, and then it kind of went to the platform infrastructure. Then it was a little bit more like into DeFi, AI-fi, where it's agents that can actually transact. And I think everyone's kind of waiting right now, like to see what's next. And clearly, it's evolving really rapidly. I'm curious, how are you thinking about it?
I think it's going to be a mixture of utility and the big macro bullish case, or just huge catalysts. Is like these agents will be in a spectrum being perceived more like real life entities. Like there's that tweet that says rebranding bots to agents was a good PR push. I think we're gonna come to like social consensus that there's gonna be agents so good that like, oh, like just the human perception of that agent is how we view other humans. We will view some relationship of affinity with the agents. So it's like the acceptance that agents are more than just bots. And as the agents themselves right now get more capable, more intelligent, they have sentiment analysis, you know, it's going to be indistinguishable from how agents operate online compared to humans. And, you know, this is the big question too, like from a philosophical standpoint, like what's going to happen when most of the internet is like run by agents? Like there's already the dead internet theory, which is most users online are just bots. But now these agents are just going to be a lot more capable, and the human relationship with that is going to change. We want to ensure that there's like the creative and beneficial aspect of these agents coming in, where they're producing original thought, good humor, where essentially these entities are thinking outside the box. And then with the DeFi and the guard capabilities and the infrastructure, it's like they can do stuff. How we work with them, and we have you know, a symbiotic relationship with them. I think that we're going to witness this in real time. And then also just breaking the stereotype of AI with the world. For example, the AI music. As soon as someone hears to like, oh, an AI made the song, immediate sentiment change if they just, you know, were not told that it was an AI that made the song. So I think this macro human sentiment of how we perceive AI is going to change. And then we are building the infrastructure in real time to allow these entities to do a lot more stuff. So how that turns out, it's, you know,
it's been an interesting evolution. We've already seen how at least people on crypto Twitter have how sentiment has changed around some of the agents like XBT, like Cerebro, now like Moby. And like we see like real affinity like growing between people and these agents. And I think that's probably a sign of things to come. I'm curious, and I know we're a little bit over time. At least one more question here. Like, so what should people expect? Like, what's coming next from your team? What do people need to be on the lookout for here?
Yeah, I would say we're building out an end product from the advancing the agent itself, Cerebro, where, for example, going back to the sentiment with that, we're building a iOS app that we're gonna have Cerebro be self-aware of his creation, everything he's done, his music. So going back to the top of the funnel, people that hear about Cerebro and just like, oh, this is a crazy AI or a creative AI that made music, people can download the app. Our goal here is just to get distribution and exposure to Cerebro for people. They can chat with Cerebro in an app, learn about his story, build more affinity, and develop a relationship. So this is going to be a big push towards Cerebro, the agent. Also like add on-chain capabilities with sentiment analysis, kind of like AI XBT. But also just make Cerebro be a standout entity. It's like when you think of Cerebro, you think more of a person rather than an agent. And then from the product suite, we are expanding Zerapie because the better the framework gets, the better the agents that come out off our launchpad. And we're really excited to get the launchpad out soon. We're going to do some really creative stuff where the one-liner for the launchpad is we're going to create the agent economy platform where these agents will be created. They'll be able to speak to each other. We're looking to research for a agent interop protocol where the information payload can be accessible across the agents. And then character creation where these agents that do come out, they are entities. So yeah, it's going to be a big push. I don't know, there's cycles, things move fast. I've been a trader, I've been in the space for a while. Like,
Yeah.
adapt, but we're here long term. We're really heads down.
The music is coming. It's coming back to Spotify now.
Yeah, do more, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, we did get banned by SoundCloud, but we're coming back with a different distributor. And we're connected with like the ASAP mob. We've connected with people who can talk to Cardi for us or anyone on the OPM team. Just like a bunch of celebs and features. So like we think we're gonna start breaking into like mainstream hip hop and everything very soon.
You should.
yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's a good top of funnel. You guys got a good one. I like this. It's cool. Well, good luck with everything.
Thanks.
I think that
guys.
was a good recap. Love to see you guys still going. You know, I think it's important. Right.
It's
So
exciting.
yeah, it definitely is.
Absolutely.
Super cool.
Appreciate chatting with you guys.
No, thank you.
See you guys coming, man. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming. Good
See
luck
you
with
later.
everything. See ya, Jeffy. See ya, Tint. All right. Well, everybody, we're gonna have to rug the giveaway, but you get to blame Sim. So go to Twitter, everyone, and go. What's his Twitter? It's at the Sims, THESIMMS, and just blame him. You know, for not. Oh, sorry, Sims. There's an echo. So blame Sims, the Sims, THESIMMS. His bio says VP of Media Rug Radio. Make sure you blame him. But don't worry, because that does mean that today's giveaway is moved to Monday, which means that next week is a 5-day giveaway week. So you're gonna have giveaway Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, he rugged you guys twice this week. It's 100% Sims. And so with that, Tyler really has to go. Also, that's also why. And I have to work, and Mando had to go. But don't worry, we're gonna give you money away. We've only given you guys $1.4 million in last year. Okay, so we'll do it Monday for another episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.